So there are a couple problems with the internal rate of return that are corrected by the modified internal rate of return, or specifically one. And that is, with the internal rate of return, the assumption is as cash flows in from the project, you're able to reinvest it at the same internal rate of return. That's not always realistic. A project might say that it's going to return 30% because it's got a lot of good properties to it. But as the money starts rolling in from the project, can you really reinvest it at 30%? So the MIRR allows us to correct for this problem by allowing us to tell the project what rate of return we expect to earn off of these different cash flows. So the way it works is each cash flow is advanced to a future value based on a different assumption on what return you would earn. So we're using the cost of capital at 10%. So in year one, we get $1,500, and I want to make it a future value for the 3 years. So we're going to do the compounding factors. So equals 1 plus the cost of capital, 1 plus 10%, raised to the power of 3 years that we can earn money off of it. The $1,200 will grow by a factor of 1 plus the 10%, raised to the power of these 2 years that the money can grow. And for the one that you receive in the 3rd year, just raised to the power of 1. And then finally, if there's no time for it to grow, it actually just stays the same. So now we're going to multiply these out, and we would say the $1,500 would grow to be $1,996.50. So we can take that cell and copy it, pull it across, take the 1.21, multiply it by the 1,200, and you get 1452, etc. So if we add these numbers, because these are all now a future value at the end of year 4, then we have one number for future value that we can then compare with our present value number, equals the sum of so our future value is 4628. The present value, we're going to use the negative 3,000. It's over 4 years, so we can determine then what rate we're returning on this project. So we use the rate formula from under financial. And the number of periods is 4. No payment. Present value is the negative 3,000. Future value is the positive 4,628.50. And we say OK. And it tells us the return on this project, the modified internal rate of this project, is 11.45. We can also shortcut this because under financial, we do have an MIRR. And it allows us to input all the values. And like IRR, we start at year 0 and put them all in. And then you can determine what rates the reinvestment rate and the finance rate are. So if you thought actually you could earn, let's say 12%, you could put 12% in here. We're just going to use the 10% cost of capital to be very conservative and see if this project then still beats the cost of capital. Of course, it's the same thing, 11.45. So the rules again for modified internal rate of return is that this number, this return that we're going to receive, is greater than the cost of capital, which it is, 11.45 compared to 10%. And that if we have 2 projects that we're comparing, we would take the one that's the highest, provided again that it's higher than the cost of capital.